How are you? Happy Tuesday. It took a lot for me to come on here and press that little live button. So if there's a red live over here, that means you're live. If this button is gone, there's no red live sticker, that means you're watching the replay. So hashtag replay in the comments and let me know that you're watching, and I'm just going to jump straight into this. I was going to do some makeup, and today was just a day, and it's still been a day. I've got stickies all over me from all the tests this morning, and it's okay to not feel it sometimes. That's my theory. I didn't turn the overhead light off. I've been binge watching Wentworth with my granny all day since we got back from my appointment, and literally they were leaving and I turned out all of the lights and came straight to in here to record this video. And I was going to do pre-recorded so I could upload it on YouTube, and then I was like, no, I'll just go live. So I'm very wishy-washy. So what can I say? Hey Nikki, I'm glad you're here. So we're gonna hop into this. I'm hoping that I can go through everything. I was gonna do this tomorrow, and tomorrow is a tomorrow is a super duper busy day for me. I'm not gonna be on until really late. So I was like, I'm just gonna get on here and kind of update everybody. So, don't drag it out no more, Cierra. So you guys, if you missed my first pre-op appointment video, you'll have to go back. I don't even know how far back it was, and kind of catch up with me on where we're at. So today I have my month 2 pre-op. I have to do 6 months of pre-op appointments before I can get the surgery, just due to insurance purposes, even to get them to pay the $4,000. So we're doing the 6 months of pre-op. My deductible started over this month, and so, thank you, Nikki. I hadn't even noticed it. My deductible started over this month, and so if we would have done all these tests last month, then we would have had to have paid it all in anyways. So we held it off, and I knew to fast last night because I knew that I was going to be having a lot of lab work done. But I thought that my appointment today was just going to be lab work and a scope down my nose. And so they put a scope down your nose, and they look at your esophagus, and they look at your throat, they look at your stomach and your intestines and all that, or mainly your stomach, I guess. And that was all that I thought we were doing. And so then last night when I got on my computer, I had to pay some bills, and I was like, I have an email about a cardiac test, and I was like, I didn't know anything about that. And sure enough, there it was. And so when I got there, they were like, okay, your total today is $718. And I was like, somebody shoot me. Thank God for care credit, because that's the only way that I paid for it. So I paid the $700 something on the credit card, and they got me back there, and I got to see the practitioner's nurse, is that what she's called? And somebody's coming in. Hey Nicole, hey Chet, hey Susie, hey guys, sorry I'm not paying too much attention. I got there, and I immediately seen the doctor, lady, whatever, and I weighed first, and I've gained 7 pounds. Gained 7 pounds in a month. And she said, what kind of diet are you doing? What are you not doing? And it kind of made me feel bad. And I was just like, I wouldn't be here if it was super freaking easy to lose weight. I have gained over 100 pounds in a year and a half, and I have no idea where that came from. So I was a little upset with her because I was upset with myself anyways. You know, I haven't been meeting my water goals. I haven't been meeting my protein goals. I haven't been meeting all of those things, but y'all know I had a big scare with my legs. We thought we didn't know what was going on there. And so just a lot happening, and that's no excuse, but normal people can eat like I do and not gain any weight, and other people, they don't. So that was kind of frustrating. So we got done with her and went back to the waiting room, and they said, okay, we're going to go ahead and do your lab work. And I was like, okay. So they took 5 or 6, of those things of my blood, checking all of my levels again, even though we just done that. And so I go back to the waiting room, and then they sent me to a room where they were doing cardiac testing. And this was, they put those stickies all over my chest and had me take my shirt off, and they done the ultrasound between my breasts and underneath, looking at my heart, taking pictures and listening to it. And they were gonna do the I can't think of the word. I knew I should have wrote it down. They were gonna do the thing where they test how good your circulation is in your legs, and I just had that done a few weeks ago because of all my feet and leg stuff that's been happening. So we didn't have to do that. That was good because that hurt, and I just had it done. I didn't want it done again, and so we done that. And right before we done all that, she told me, she said, once you're done here, you're gonna go over here, and they're gonna do a stress test with the bike. And I was like, bike? Okay, it'll be fine. This fat people come here all the time. People that need to lose weight. I don't mean to use that word loosely, but y'all know what I'm obviously at a weight loss surgery place, so most people understand what I'm saying when I say the word fat. So there's that. And I was like, okay, immediately flashing back to when I first got my trainer, Callie, in 2012. It took her forever to get me on a bike because I didn't know. Sorry, I keep waiting for somebody to come in the door. I didn't know. What was I saying? It took her forever to get me on a bike because I didn't even know how to ride a bike. I don't know how to ride a bike. I can't ride a bike. And to get on a stationary exercise bike was seriously so traumatizing. There was so many times that Callie would put me on that bike and I would just sit there and cry because my legs I couldn't do it. So it took me a long time to get to where I could do that exercise bike comfortably and adequately without hurting, without my back hurting or my legs hurting or my feet or getting it adjusted. It took a long time, and it took a long time of her physically picking up my leg and putting it in the bike thing, the pedal. So when I walked in the room and I seen that bike sitting there, I was like, damn, this is not going to be good. And I wasn't going to share this with y'all because I seriously, I cried. I've cried a majority of the day because I'm sick of being this way, and I get disgusted with myself. So for me to come on here and tell you guys the only reason I'm doing this, 2 reasons. Number 1 is I want to keep myself accountable and be able to look back on this in 2 or 3 years after surgery and be like, damn, I came from that. And also because there aren't a lot of people out there that I've seen talk about this from this point of view instead of after surgery only. And so I just knew that I had to get on here. So anyways, he has me put a nose plug on and breathe in this machine multiple different times. Breathe in, blow real quick, breathe in, breathe out real slow, huff and puff like you're exercising, doing all of these heart studies. And then my granny, she went with me today because they knew they were doing the scope. And we didn't know any of this other stuff was going to happen. That was my fault. I probably could have asked. And she said, my throat's scratchy. I'm going to go leave you out of the room. And it was fine at that point. I was like, it's whatever. I'm just breathing in this machine. So she leaves out of the room and he says, okay, it's time for to do the stress part of it. We're going to exercise, for 2 minutes. I was like, 2 minutes. Okay, that's fine. I can do 2 minutes. And then he gets this mask, and it's huge. It was probably literally the size of my phone case. and it goes over your face, you know, covering your mouth and your nose. And then it's held on with straps, kind of like what CPAPs or BiPAPs, whatever, are like. And I've never had one of those on my face, so I was already like claustrophobic, like I was already kind of starting to get worried because he put that on me and I couldn't see, you know. Such an idiot. And I felt like an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I'm not. And he says, okay, we're going to get on the bike. And again, I did not know we were going to do this test, so I wore flip-flops. That's my fault. I should have wore tennis shoes. I wish I would have wore tennis shoes because maybe I could have done this better. And he says, how tall are you again? Okay, we'll move it to about here. It's the seat. So he moves the seat, and I get on there, and I can't reach the pedals, and I'm just uncomfortable. I start hyperventilating, and he's like, Cierra, are you good? Are you good? And I was like, you know, I don't know. I need this off. And so I made him take the mask off of me. And I just started crying, you guys. And it's so embarrassing in the moment because this guy was super cute. He was adorable. He was, you know, he was from Texas. They flew, you know, the whole story. And it was embarrassing because I wasn't even on that bike yet. My feet were not in the pedals. And I was already freaking out and crying because I've had so many traumatizing times over a freaking bike, an exercise bike, a stationary bike, you know, and I'm nowhere near where I was when I was training with Callie. So he says, okay, let's get you situated first, and then we'll put the mask on, because breathing into the mask tells the machine what I'm doing. So I said, okay, and we get my feet in there, and he has to pick it, like, we get up and down a couple times getting the seat adjusted, and, you know, I'm already short, so that doesn't help, and I'm in freaking flip-flops. So we finally get my feet where they're supposed to be, and we put the mask back on me, and he says, alright, we're going to pedal, and we're going to try to get to 80 RPMs, or 60 to 80, you know, 60 to 80. I was like, okay, when me and Callie used to do this, I could usually get my heart rate up to 100, 120. My resting heart rate's usually, you know, whatever. So I barely started pedaling, and I started getting upset, and I couldn't breathe again. I started hyperventilating. My feet were slipping. You know, I was struggling to get those pedals moving. So then I start hyperventilating again, and I quit, and I'm like, take this off, take it off. And I'm mad, you guys. I'm pissed because it should not be a big deal to ride a bike and get my heart rate up to be able to give them the information they need. It should not be a big deal. So we take off my sunglasses, we take off my shoes, my flip-flops, and I try it with just my feet with the mask on. I can't do it again. Then he's like, we're just going to take the mask off. He's like, I really just need to take your blood pressure in the middle of it to see what your heart's doing. And I got up to like 45 RPM, something ridiculously low. And I'm struggling. I'm moving like this, you know, because I feel humongous anyways right now. You know, I'm the biggest I've ever been in my life. And he's trying to take it, and I'm trying to hold my arms still, my arms out like this, you know, and I finally, like, I slammed my feet on the ground, and I said, I can't do this. What do I need to do? And I was just mad because these are some of those non-scale things that 490 pounds does not define me. But what I feel defines me is being 24 years old, not being able to ride an exercise bike for 2 freaking minutes. Sorry. So, he's telling me to breathe, and, I'm sorry. I've done this all day, you guys. I'm just mad. So he has me slow my breathing down, and let me find like Do I not have any tissues? Probably not. I had some and I don't know what we did with them. So he finally, Megan, thank you, love. So he's telling me to breathe, you know, and I asked him, I said, I said, I can't complete this. I can't finish this test. What do we do from here? And he said, if we can't do it, if you can't complete this, they're going to send you to a cardiologist and they're going to give you a medicine that increases your heart rate without you having to, you know, perform any exercise. And it just costs more. And of course my granny's not in there. And I'm a grown woman. I can make decisions on my own. And I was like, I don't care how much it costs. You know, I'm done with this. I can't do it. And so he, of course, for this, I had all of those things on me, all those electrodes everywhere, 7 here, 7 here, you know, and he's like, do you want me to take those off of you or do you want to take them off? And I said, you can. So he takes them all off, and I get out of that room as quick as I could. And of course my granny's sitting there waiting. And I'm an ugly crier, y'all. She could tell I was crying, and she's like, what did he say to you? Of course, you know, that's what grannies and moms think. They think somebody's beating you up. When in reality, he wasn't being mean to me at all. I was being super mean to myself, and I'm still super mad at myself, you know. So, I get that done, and I go to the bathroom, and I have a big crying fest, you know. My phone is freaking stupid. It won't stay charged, so I have to keep it on airplane mode. I turned it off airplane mode long enough to try to text Josh, and it died, so I ran it to my car, you know, and because I needed him right then, you know. So I do that. Granny's trying to get my phone charged. She's trying to comfort me. And the lady comes and gets me, and she says, all right, it's time to spray your nostrils. We're going to numb them so we can run the scope down. And I'm crying harder than I was just a few minutes ago in front of y'all. And she takes this thing and, you know, she sprays it, and it's up my nose, and it tastes awful. And I start crying again. And Granny was like, honey, why are you, you know, you're okay, you're okay. I was like, it doesn't hurt at all. I said, I'm just still really upset over what just happened, you know, in there with that bike, you know, that I can't even, somebody probably could have said that I looked beautiful, and I probably would have cried in that moment. You know, you're upset about one thing, so every other little thing upsets you. And so, they spray that stuff up my nose. A little while later, Dr. Kwan comes and gets me, and he does the scope. And you guys, that was awful. The last time I had a scope ran down my nose was literally probably 15 years ago. And they knocked me out and left it in all night. This one was like, they run it down your nose, and they look at you for like 60 seconds, and then they pull it out, and y'all, they put that thing down my nose, and I started crying again because it was uncomfortable. And they wanted me to drink water, and it was just, you know, there was so much flooding my system in the moment. Of course, you know, all of this is going to be worth it, but there was so much today that I wish I would have been able or been offered the opportunity to split this up into multiple appointments, because, you know, I'm wore out today now, you know. Anyways, the scope gets done. They gag me, which is, I have awful gag reflex anyways. Get done with that, and had to do another test for some kind of stomach bacteria that you can't have if you're having surgery, and they tested me for that. That took 15 minutes, and then I met with my patient care coordinator, and we talked about insurance. And I forgot to tell y'all I weighed myself, then I seen the doctor, and then before I went and done the lab testing, I seen the dietitian, and I did not see Neil today, which was upsetting. I actually got to see Matt, and I'm talking about roller weight loss in Fayeteville for y'all that are going to ask me. I like Matt, but I really liked Neil, so I didn't get to see Neil today. I saw Matt, and he was asking me, you know, do you know why you've gained 7 pounds in the last month? Do you know, and I was just like, you know, I don't know. I said, I'm ready to go to meal replacement shakes. I don't want to have to think about food because clearly food lets your girl down. You know, I can't. I could eat the same thing as my sister, Trinity. We could eat the same thing day in and day out, and she would gain 0.1 pounds, and I would gain 0.10 or 10 pounds. You know, it's just, I don't know. You know, and so he approved me today to start going to 2 meal replacement shakes a day, and 1 meal, and that meal has got to be awesome in protein, and to start doing snacks in between protein shakes, and that's what I'm gonna do because y'all, I'm really beating myself up today. I came home and cried a little bit, and I went to sleep. I took a long nap, you know, and cried again. So that was month 2. That was my 2nd month pre-op out of 6 appointments. And it was a trying one. And hopefully those should be all of the hard tests that I have to be done. I've got to make an appointment to go to the cardiologist next month. And my next roller appointment is August 13th. That'll be my month 3, and I probably won't talk about it again until each appointment, and then I'll talk to y'all a lot after surgery, but I'm really just doing monthly videos, I think, about it, because unless people have specific questions or whatever, you know, because there's no point in me coming on here and crying about it, and that's what makeup does, is helps me get away from this part of my life. Makeup doesn't discriminate. Makeup isn't a bike that Cierra can't do at all. So I think that's it. I'm done crying on y'all. Like I said, I'm really tired today. And I think a lot of that is, you know, you cry and it makes you tired. And I've definitely cried a lot, and I've journaled a lot today, you know, and just today was not a good self-love day at all. But thank y'all for watching, and if you watch this on the replay, make sure to hashtag replay in the comments. That way I know that you came and that you hung out with me. And I feel like I'm lagging, so that means that it's time to get off of here. But I love y'all so much. Thank you for hopping on here, and if you or someone you know is going through the process of getting weight loss surgery, or just needs encouragement, or just wants to know that, hey, there's another fat chick out there that can't do that, then you should probably let her know, hey, there's somebody that I know. So I love y'all, and I won't be on here tomorrow, but Thursday night, come hang out with me. I'm going to do a half of a face using my kudos this month, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.